All right, so we're in Adobe Illustrator and we're going to take a quick tour of using text in Adobe Illustrator. On the left in the toolbar, you'll notice that there is a T here. If I click on that, you can see the tooltip tells me it's the type tool. Once I've selected it, I can click into the main document and you'll see it fills with text. Over here in the Properties Inspector, under Character, I can see my font type here. So say I change that to Arial Black. And what we want to do, since this is the main title, I'm going to change it to about 140 points just to give us something big, something visible. All right, so now we've got a title. We can reselect the selection tool and drag it around, try and eyeball the center. We could also go to View and say Show Grid. Those things all help. But another option you have is just select it and go down here to Align, Horizontal Align Center, and that will get you right in the middle. Since we've already got the object selected, I'm going to copy it. All right, and let's make it a subtitle. So I'm going to double click to get in there for editing. All right, so now I changed it to subtitle, but let's change the size a little bit. So let's make it about half. So I'm going to set this to 70 points. Now I've got it in there. Once again, I can select it, drag it around. Let's copy and paste, just like you normally would. Command C, Command V, or Control C, Control V, depending on if you're on a PC or a Mac. So let's get 4 of them in there. Then I'm just going to click and drag to select them all. See, they're all selected, or I could hold down Shift and click each one individually. But the blue lines indicate that they're selected. So the first thing I can do here with alignment is vertical align top. So now they're all even. And then if I click on the 3 buttons, this is kind of nice. You can do Distribute Object, and this is Horizontal Distribute Center. It evens them out within the space that you've defined. And then you could further align center from that. Now if I do this, they all condense. But if I did something like, where is it? Object Group. Now, if I align center, it aligns center. And I can then ungroup them if I needed to mess with them individually again. So that's couple of little tips on being able to even things out without having to eyeball it. Let's look at one more thing before we go. So I'm going to click on the type tool again. Before I make this edit, I'm going to change it, the font size down to about 20. All right, because this is going to be our paragraph text. And I'm going to click and drag roughly the space I want to fill. And that can be really helpful. It's filling it with lorem ipsum in my case so that I can kind of see what's going on. Once we've got that, you may find that, hey, Arial Black was good for titles, not so good for paragraph text. So in this case, I'll change to Roboto. Over here, you'll note paragraph has another one of those 3 little more options dots. And this can be a really good place to mess around with things. So once again, notice left indent, first line, left indent, and space before paragraph and space after paragraph. So when I move over my cursor over these tooltips pop up to show me what these things are. So let me set that to 0. Maybe I'll tone this down a little bit. But you start to kind of arrange this visually so that it looks right at the sizes you're choosing. And then you can copy and paste it and place it as you'd like. Notice this is getting a little cramped, so I'd have to reconsider some things. You know, maybe I'll make that more narrow. I'll delete this old one. But that's the basic start for text. You know, other little things you might note. If I wanted to change the fill color, I can just select the text, do that right there. You want to keep this contrast with your background nice and crisp so that it's easily legible though. Don't get too carried away with colors, but that's a brief intro to text in Adobe Illustrator for posters.